Good morning, students. In the last video, we have covered the classification of the sensors, and some of the sensors are example of the sensors which measures the temperature as one of the physical quantity. Now in this video, let us try to study some examples and their operation principle which measures the pressure as a physical quantity. So these pressure sensors are the sensors which acts as a transducer, and we know that what is meant by transducer, which just converts the one form of energy into another form of energy. So let us consider the first example of the pressure sensor. It is a Bourdon tube, and what does this Bourdon tube does? It senses a pressure. It is a pressure sensing device in a closed coiled tube connected to a chamber or a pipe in which pressure is to be sensed. As the gauge pressure increases, the tube will tend to uncoil, while a reduced gauge pressure will cause the tube to coil more tightly. The next kind of a pressure sensor is a manometer, which we have already used in the labs. Manometer tube. So the manometer works on the principle of hydrostatic equilibrium and is used for measuring the pressure, static pressure, exerted by a still liquid. The liquid which is not moving, which is still liquid or a gas. Hydrostatic equilibrium states that the pressure at any point in a fluid at rest is equal to its value is just the weight of the overlying fluid. So this is the manometer. It is called as the pressure sensor. Diaphragm is another pressure sensor which works on an air displacement principle. The membrane is mechanically pushed and pulled in and out of a pumping chamber. When the diaphragm is extended, then the slurry or whatever is being pumped is sucked into the diaphragm chamber through the intake line. So this is diaphragm is a pressure sensor. So let us take the next example: Pirani gauge, ionization gauge and thermal gauge. So this Pirani gauge measures the vacuum pressure dependent thermal conductivity from the heated wire to a surrounding gas. The heated Pirani sensor filament is typically made up of thin tungsten whose thickness is less than 25 micrometer, or nickel or platinum wire. As the molecules collides with the filament wire, heat is transported from the hot wire. This is the working principle of Pirani gauge, and remember Pirani gauge is a pressure sensor. Next pressure sensor is ionization gauge. So this ionization gauge works by ionizing the gas molecules within the gauge volume. The ions are then collected on a thin wire called as collector. The current formed is proportional to pressure, and it measures very low pressure, 10 to the power minus 3 to 10 to the power minus 13 atmosphere. The next kind of a pressure sensor is a thermocouple gauge. This thermocouple gauge works on thermal conductivity principle. The metal strip is heated by passing a current through it, and its temperature is measured by a thermocouple. The temperature measured depends on thermal conductivity of a gas in the tube and hence on the pressure, and that's why thermocouple gauge is a pressure sensor. Don't confuse with Thermocouple. Thermocouple is a temperature sensor. Thermocouple gauge is a pressure sensor. The next kind of sensors which measures the force or a torque. So the working principle of this kind of a sensor is it responds to the applied force as well as it converts that applied force to a measurable value, right? So what are the types of a force sensor or a torque sensor? Strain gauge, then load cell column type, cantilever beam, and pneumatic load cell, capacitive load cell, hydraulic load cell. So these are the various examples of torque sensor or a force sensor. Now the operating principle of this strain gauge is it works on principle of electrical conductance and its dependence on conductor's geometry. Whenever a conductor is stretched within the limit of elasticity, it does not break but gets narrower and longer. Now the cantilever beam, next kind of a torque sensor or a force sensor. This cantilever beam, it converts the force, compression, pressure or a torque into a electrical signal that can be measured and standardized. As the force applied to the load cell increases, the electrical signal changes. So this is the operating principle of the cantilever beam. Now I will urge you to find out the operating principles of the remaining sensors: pneumatic load cell, capacitive load cell, and hydraulic load cell. This is your homework. Now let's move on the speed of a sensor or speed sensors. The sensors which are used to detect the speed of an object is called as the speed sensors, and usually this kind of sensors are used in the transport vehicle. For example, tachometer. Tachometer is a speed sensor. Next kind of a sensor is a light sensor. This light sensor is a passive device which converts a light. It may be a visible light, infrared light, or any other kind of a light signal, and it converts into an electrical signal. So these are commonly known as photoelectric or photosensors. Next kind of sensor is a humidity sensor, an electric device which measures the humidity in its environment and converts its findings into a corresponding electrical signal. This is called as a humidity sensor. For example, capacity humidity sensor or resistive humidity sensor. Next kind of a sensor is a gas sensor. These kind of sensors are used to detect an inflammable gases like CO, carbon dioxide, and methane. Mechanical sensor. Mechanical kind of sensors detect the mechanical deformation and converts into the electrical signal. For example, piezoelectric sensor, touch sensor. This mechanical deformation can occur due to variety of stimuli. These kind of sensors are used in biometric applications. Electrical sensor or electric sensor. Electric sensor is a device or ICs that detect the specific physical parameter and converts into an electrical signal. An output signal of an electrical sensor is processed and used to provide a measurement. It includes the environmental sensor for temperature, humidity measurement, or biosensors. Radiant sensor. Radiant temperature sensors provides non-contact and remote measurement of radiant temperature from windows or walls. For example, optical pyrometer, right? So these are the various kind of sensors. The next kind of a sensor is a chemical sensor. A chemical sensor is a device that transforms the chemical information ranging from concentration of the specific sample component to the total composition analysis into an analytical useful signal. For example, optical sensor, electrochemical sensor, mass sensor, magnetic sensor, etc. So these are the various examples of the chemical sensor. Magnetic sensor, a transducer that converts a magnetic field into electrical signal. For example, Hall sensors, semiconducting magnetoresistors, flux gate sensors, superconducting quantum interface device, resonant sensor, induction magnetometer. So these are the various examples of magnetic sensor. So this is all for the sensors, and this is the end of the module number 1. This is the assignment questions to you. Assignment number 1, the questions are: describe the various type of errors in brief. Second question, write a short note on time and frequency domain analysis. Third question, write a short note on periodic and random signals. Thank you.